Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between JN versus Lucifer here on Secret Valley. JN spawning as the blue human player over here on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lucifer V6 spawning on the top right hand side of the map as the orange Undead. So Undead versus human here on Secret Valley should be a pretty interesting matchup. This is game 1 in the series, and I'm not quite sure what this is the best of, but I will go ahead and just try to cast all the games and have you guys enjoy. A little bit of a weird delay on Lucifer's one particular acolyte there. I thought he had enough gold, but not quite sure what happened there, and now he is not training an additional acolyte. We are going for a crypt, a ziggurat, and now an altar of darkness. Meanwhile, JN should be able to get a lot of time to train up with his Archmage. Archmage will be able to come off over here, do some militia creeping, take down the 5-3-3 creep camp, and almost get to level 2 well before the Death Knight does pop out. Since it is a delayed altar of darkness, we may see... excuse me, we may see the Death Knight sell his items. Actually, no, he's not going to sell his items, as we don't see a Tome of Relics right now. And apparently people are talking about who's a foreigner and who is not. Rather interesting conversations, as WarCraft 3 is very popular in China right now, as opposed to StarCraft 2, but I believe StarCraft 2 will suddenly make that transition eventually, as we are now going into the Altar of Darkness. We are going for a Lich first. Wow. Alright, I do not preview any of my games, so I have never seen, well, I'm not going to say I've never seen, because I do have over 100, probably 150 casts of WarCraft 3, but Lich first is a rather unusual strategy. Lich is normally a hero that is used later on. It has low hit points, and I'm wondering what strategy will be used at all, as a Lich is a rather unusual hero. And now JN going to be going for the Archmage. Archmage is going to drop down a Water Elemental, and then going to tank some of that damage there as the Footmen and the Militia try to surround and take down that Null Assassin. A little sheep getting in the way. How nice is that? The sheep causing a little bit of extra damage just because that poison is going to hit even more targets, as the Archmage is now seen at level 1. We'll get to level 2 in just a moment. A Footman now going after, and it is going to see the Lich, and what a strange hero it is going to be. The Lich first, a rather unlucky or rather strange hero, as we are now going to see the Lich now move out. The Lich does have a Rod of Necromancy, but the Lich does move rather slowly. A slow-moving hero, and there's not going to be any Unholy Aura for quite some time. So I'm rather curious as to what the strategy will be, as he is now creeping out with ghouls. So I'm taking down the level 3, level 1 creep camps. You can see that the Archmage sitting at level 2 right now does have Claws of Attack +6. Will be able to deal even more damage, but this rather large swarmy army may be able to deal some damage as well. I believe a manual of health was picked up by the Lich, as the Lich normally starts off with only 450 hit points. 475 versus 500, and the Lich is going to now just come in with a whole bunch of ghouls, as we are now teching the tier 2 Halls of the Dead. Meanwhile, back over here, the Archmage now going to try to do a little bit more creeping, but unbeknownst to him, there's a very large welcoming party now making its way down into the base. A lot of skeletons coming in as well, Rod and Necromancy, and now what is going to happen here, as a Footman now sees this rather large army. Is it going to get surrounded? No. Ghoul is now straight coming in, and the Lich is going to be able to Frost Nova all of those units right there, and now taking a little bit of arcane feedback damage down to 130 energy. That is not what he wanted to do. And now the Militia are trying to fight back, and now even more damage being dealt, and it looks like the Lich is going to be coming here. So now what is this Lich doing, sitting at what, level 1, now getting to level 2? A lot of ghouls, a lot of Footmen getting destroyed. Scroll of Town Portal now being used. A lot of Militia are getting destroyed, and now all the ghouls have returned home. 28 over 36. Meanwhile, Lucifer sitting at 24 over 30. The Lich and the ghouls all just going to stay on that blight. Will be able to regenerate that hit point, regenerate those hit points rather quickly there, as the Lich, where is it going to go? There is a Fountain of Health over here, which would be an odd location for it to go, as the Archmage now with 2 Claws of Attack plus 15 damage. That is a very large amount of damage there, as the Archmage now level 3 may be able to drop another Water Elemental and now focus down some of those skeletal minions. One skeletal minion already down. Now the Lich taking a lot of damage. Not quite sure what this Lich really plans on doing, down to 101 hit points already, as now the skeletal minions are going after some of those peasants. A peasant does get taken down. Skeletal minions look like they will fall. One ghoul down to 47 hit points does get taken down. It looks like the Archmage is just going to be able to chase after these ghouls and finish them all off. He just needs to catch up just a little bit further, but the ghoul may just die. Is he going to die? No, it looks like he is going to be able to hide away. He's going to be able to wake up the creeps. Nope, not going to be able to, as JN really doing a great job, and Lucifer perhaps getting a little bit too cute with his strategy, not really executing whatever strategy it is. He is about to be done at Halls of the Dead. We are now going into a graveyard as well. We are seeing a couple ghouls now just mining away. We can see also Lucifer sitting on 730 gold. Meanwhile, JN only sitting on 360, and it looks like he will be trying to build a town hall here in order to do an expansion. So yeah, town hall now being started, and JN looking to go into the long run. Meanwhile, Lucifer wants to finish this game off as quickly as possible. Very, very low on mana. Not quite sure what he can do now. He's behind on heroes, behind on hero level, behind in food, behind in economy. The only thing he really has is the tech advantage, and JN should be able to catch up on that in just a moment. Lich now sitting at level 2, hasn't really changed. Now going to come in and get a Frost Nova on the Null Overseer, slowing the amount of damage dealt there. Lich is now going to pick up a Tome of Intelligence, but really is really far behind, and this may be a very, very bad problem as a Null Overseer finally goes down, and it looks like, oh, a Footman comes in. I thought he perhaps got the damage onto that one ghoul. Does not get it, as the Death Knight is now out. So a Death Knight as the second hero. A rather strange combination, as we are now at Halls of the Dead. So Halls of the Dead, Death Coil, we see Death Pact, or not Death Pact, Death Ritual, or the sacrifice that gives you mana, not the Death Pact from the Death Knight. It's not something I see very, very often, as we now see the Death Knight trying to creep away once more. Level 2, level 1, it may be level 3, level 1 in just a moment. Archmage may get to level 4. So 4 versus a 3-1 Potion of Greater Mana. Archmage just benefiting from all of his creeping, now getting additional gold and also very powerful items. Is he going to pick up the Manual of Health and finish off that Troll Trapper? He is just shy of level 4, and that should, this one guy should be able to give it to him, down to 76 hit points, 91. Is it actually going to come out a little bit ahead here as the Archmage dancing back and forth? And now, yes, level 4 on the Archmage. Archmage now getting in some more damage as well. It looks like the Death Knight trying to push in. Is it going to be enough? No Frost Nova. And there are too many guard towers in the back there, as the Water Elemental and the Archmage perhaps summoned, or a little bit too far away, split between the rest of the army now, as the Crypt Fiends now getting in some free damage onto that one particular Water Elemental. Death Knight has to be rather careful, hugging along the edge there. Perhaps some Frost Nova and Death Coils will be able to slow down that Archmage as another Water Elemental comes into play. Footmen now coming in from the back. They were all healing back over here, as we now see the Crypt Fiends trying to go after one of those guard towers. One low hit point ghoul will be able to escape, down to 53 hit points, down to 3. Archmage will finish him off. There he goes. And now it looks like one guard tower has been destroyed. Level 2 on the Lich. A nice Frost Nova, Death Coil to heal it back up. Footman now down to 93 hit points, and there it goes. Level 3 on the Lich. Perhaps some more nuking could be coming in just a moment. 4 Crypt Fiends able to just attack from long range and trying to stay out of the range here, but now in comes the Archmage. Archmage perhaps is going to get a Water Elemental, stop the pathing just a little bit, and now the Death Knight is in a little bit of trouble. Frost Nova onto a lot of those units there. Low hit point Footman and a nice long distance Death Coil to heal up that Crypt Fiend. The Crypt Fiend still needs to run away even further, as it looks like the Lich and that Frost Nova damage is starting to take its toll. The Crypt Fiend's dealing so much damage. A very low hit point Lich trying to run away. Archmage should be able to catch up to there, no problem. As you now see the Crypt Fiend's going after Water Elemental there. It looks like the Archmage got his Spider and was able to take him down, as we now are continuing to do a little bit more damage. JN dropping in a second Water Elemental. One Water Elemental very low on hit points. The Crypt Fiend, however, going to come back in, get some more damage there, as the Death Knight, now dangerously low on hit points, has to be careful, forced to run away from that Archmage, as we see the Lich is at level 3, and that Lich is not going to really be able to do very much at all. But in comes an Obsidian Statue, and now is this going to be enough? You can see the Death Knight down to 135. Both sides need to heal back up, and we do have Defend. Defend now being used. Lucifer now able to get off another Death Coil to heal this back up. There are going to be 2 water elementals here, and it doesn't look like a very smart engagement at all, as the Obsidian statue would be able to heal up the majority of that damage now, as we now see whether the Death Knight will be able to get to level 2. Excuse me, Unholy Aura. A very, very nice ability. As we are now going into a Mountain King, you can see that the Lich currently at level 3. Death Knight sitting at level 1. Double Obsidian statues now doing double healing on both energy and mana. Mana and hit points. I'm getting all of my terms confused. As now we see 1 water elemental down to 280 hit points. It's just going to be ignored there, as the Death Knight continuing to creep even further. Arcane Sanctum now being added as well. You can see Ogre Warriors coming in, doing a little bit more creeping. Level 2 Potion of Lesser Invulnerability was used. Meanwhile, back over here, the Archmage looking to put in some pressure. He knows exactly where his opponent is, so not quite sure why he's going where he is right now, as the Lich now sitting at 265 mana should be able to come back and deal a little bit of damage. We are going into a second Slaughterhouse, which normally means abominations or destroyers, as the Tome of Relics now going to get destroyed. So this is really, really bad news there. That Tome of Relics, a very, very vulnerable building, as now we are going to see the Lich perhaps get in some Frost Novas. Yeah, 1 Frost Nova slowing down the units, and a long distance attack, just enough. Death Knight now down to 268 hit points, but able to get back behind and stay close to those Obsidian statues, as we should be researching Destroyer form if it's not already up. Destroyers, no, that is not a Destroyer, that's an Obsidian statue. Just taking a look at the icon there. Obsidian statues, currently 4 of them. So 4 Obsidian statues doing a lot of healing. And now Lucifer in a very, very healthy position. Mountain King at level 1 compared to the level 4 Archmage. So it is now a 2-3, almost a 2-4 compared to a 1-4. And that is going to be very bad news, as the nuking abilities are going to scale much more quickly, as the Death Knight now gets a Ring of Regeneration as well, an additional +2 hit points per second. So that is a very nice heal, especially coupled with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. And now we are going to haunt a gold mine coming in from Lucifer. So Lucifer not going to lose this long-term game, and now we are going to see a little bit of an engagement. Crypt Fiends are going to go after these units here, get some damage, but in comes a very quick defend. Frost Nova, and now a Death Coil, level 3 on the Death Knight. Spellbreakers coming in as well. Spellbreakers, the perfect counter to this massive piercing and magic army, but even more Death Coils coming in as well. More Frost Nova, and now the Mountain King down to 500 hit points after quaffing a potion. It looks like another Death Coil healing up and saving these units left and right. So Lucifer really been able to save all of his units, and this has really been the story of the matchup so far, as the Mountain King finally gets off a Stormbolt. But that was after a couple of Stormbolts and a lot of mana waiting. So loser's choice, apparently. You guys can read what's going on in the conversations, but this has been a very good matchup. Lich first really working out well. Orb of Corruption now up. Death Knight up as well. So level 2 on that one particular Lich, and now we see a whole bunch of towers over here. Rather strange considering that we do not see any meat wagons whatsoever. It's going to be very difficult to break that location here, as we are now going into sword upgrades for JN. So JN gonna be able to deal even more damage with those Spellbreakers. Destroyers now coming in. The Destroyers do have some mana. Are they going to be able to push in is the key question, and they're going to be able to deal a lot of damage very quickly. You can see one tower already, oh no, down to 70 hit points there, and the towers are going to continue to hit. It looks like the Mountain King dangerously low on hit points may get focused down. It gets focused down. Destroyers, so many of them in the air. Scroll of Healing now being used, and the Archmage at level 4, one very bad Scroll of Town Portal, and now this entire story has changed completely. Spellbreakers pretty much not have to worry about anything at all. The Destroyers are very low on mana. They're not going to really be able to do much, but now the main base is pretty much wide open, as JN is now tower rushing Lucifer over here at this base. You can see a lot of these towers are up. It is going to be very difficult to keep anything alive here, as the Destroyers cost 5 food each, and those units will be forced to back off. More towers over here. We'll see how this is all going to work as the Spellbreakers now make their way over. A ghoul is now trying to come in and trying to put a stop to this. There are going to be some ziggurats as well, upgrading to guard towers. Will it be enough as the destroyers are now making their way over there? It looks like there is going to be enough blight to heal up some of those units, as now we are going to go into a little bit of an engagement there. And now it looks like Lucifer is just going to go ahead and hang around the Fountain of Health and now finish off that Drake. The Drake, a very easy target for all of these destroyers. Down it goes, picking up a Robe of Magi +6. That is a lot of additional mana. 150, I believe. Or is it 90? I think it might be 90, 15, 30. It might be 120, actually. So the Death Knight, transferring that over to the Lich. The Lich going to get even more mana. Now sitting at 41 intelligence. Very, very high damage there, and additional bonus damage as well, really working out for him. Orb of Corruption plus Claws of Attack +6. And I think Lucifer right now has the slight advantage, as we are now reviving a hero once more. It's just going to be a matter of time as the Mountain King tries to finish off all of these locations here. There are no priests in this group, and for some reason not taking down the Ogre Magi. The Ogre Magi would be a very easy target to take down, especially with all of that feedback. And now the Mountain King might be in trouble. It is going to focus down that Spellbreaker there. The Mountain King is invulnerable, and I'm not sure who got the experience. The Death Knight now a hair away from level 4. Perhaps 2 more kills in order to do so, as we are now going into workshops. Destroyers attempting to take down a couple of these very, very easy to kill free creeps. Death Knight getting very, very close to level 4. Now I wasn't talking about creep kills, I was talking about actual unit kills. So now 6 experience away, even though he did take down, I believe, 3 units. Spellbreakers once again getting re-healed. We are now going into flying machines, so we really need a lot, or sorry, gyrocopters. Yeah, gyrocopters now being trained up as well. The Death Knight gonna focus down that Ogre Magi. Down it goes. We can see level 4 on the Death Knight. Level 4 Death Knight, very powerful. Gonna focus on that Ogre Lord as well. It gets taken down. Medallion of Courage, perfect item to round it off. +4 strength, +4 intelligence. And that Lich, very, very close to level 5 with over 600 mana, should be able to just absolutely nuke out that other army without any hesitation. 77 over 80. We are getting another meat wagon up and running. Perhaps one more if it wouldn't put him over the food cap. At 80 food there, you can see now Dark Death Knight sitting at level 4, Lich sitting at level 4, barely very, very close to level 5. One more kill away, and now going to deal some damage to the Town Hall. The Town Hall now is going to suffer a lot of damage from these meat wagons here, as no real engagement going down. You can see that the flak cannons are being upgraded, and the Death Knight really wants to finish this off. He wants to make sure that no more flying machines are added into the air. 3, 4 meat wagons now just launching, I guess, meat over here at this Town Hall, and in comes the gyrocopters, in comes the gyro, and now, wow, poor Mountain King, very low on hit points, has to be careful. Trying to run away, down to 23 hit points, down to 15. It gets taken down. Level 5 on the Lich. Frost Nova coming in, and there you go. Archmage gets taken down once more, and I believe that will be the GG. Spellbreakers going after those meat wagons, but I think it's too little, too late. The meat wagons can just try to run away, and there's just too much repairing going on, and there is the GG. So Lucifer winning game 1 in this series over JN. I believe game 2 will be taking place on Amazonia. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, I did get an updated icon to try to block out the timer. Thanks, Laszlo. But I didn't have enough time to incorporate it into my code as of yet. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.